Why don't you never know the day?
I don't know. Happy Friday. It's
Friday.
29th.
29th what?
Of April.
You said it like you're in Europe. Isn't that how they write the date out there in Europe?
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 70 West.
That's how they write the date in the military.
Word?
29/04/16.
I ain't asking.
So someone posted on one of our vlogs a question about the last relationship that I had. I don't remember which vlog it was, but they asked, why did me and my ex break up? I wanted to address this question because I'm sure there are followers that came from that following that are with us now. So, to be candid and completely honest, the reason why me and Kayla, that was my ex's name, the reason why we broke up basically was because we just weren't fit to be together. I wasn't honest with her and I wasn't honest with myself. 9 times out of 10 when that happens, things just don't work. It happened for the best because now I'm sure she's living life and she's happy and I'm living life and I'm happy. I appreciate the question and I appreciate you know, people actually inquiring or wondering what happened, and I hope you appreciate my honesty. So yeah, that's the reason why.
Here's a better question to follow up with that. So now that you've had a couple of years removed from being in that relationship, what did you learn about yourself? And if you were to see Kayla again, how do you think you would interact with her?
If I were to see her right now, I would, you know, say hi and, you know, ask her how she's doing and, you know, keep it moving. You know, a lot of people, I think, when they break up, well, not a lot of people, some people, when they break up with people, whether it's bad or good, there's some type of bitterness towards that person or whatever it is, and I have no bitterness towards her. Breakup in that relationship actually made me grow into a better person because I saw so many faults in myself and so many ways that I needed to grow. My cousin, she told me, you know, when you are with somebody and you are trying to leave them or you guys break up, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what it is about yourself that you need to purge, because your partner or even your close friends are a direct reflection of yourself. It gave me the opportunity to be single and to learn myself, learn what I actually wanted in a partner, and then learn to re-love myself, if that made any sense, because at that time I was very, very insecure about myself, even though I probably didn't show it, but a lot of the faults that I had, I put onto her. It made me grow, and I think every relationship should make you grow. It shouldn't be like, well, you know, F that person or whatever it is. No, a relationship, if it ends, there's a reason why it ends, and there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
I think, contrastly, obviously we had two different but similar, I guess, experiences in our dating. So I guess I grew up with a whole sense of pride and taking things personal. And so when things don't work, I took it personal. And so it was a personal reason why it didn't work. And it wasn't really until I had the real time to like look at it, not being in the relationship, to realize that the incompatibility of the relationship or that time period, it wasn't as if, it wasn't like I didn't learn anything from it. So, and that's, I'm just speaking on all cases of my relationships from a total perspective.
Well, see, you know what? I think like when me and her broke up, I took it personal at first, but then I took it personal a different way later when I matured from it. Because at first I took it like, wait a minute, who do you think you are? Do you know who I am? Like, why would you even, why are we, no, like I'm Santana, like no. But then later when I grew up from that particular situation, it was like, okay, I am taking it personal with myself. Right. Like,
well, yeah, okay, I see what you see. So I did exactly that, but I did it from the perspective of, again, I think the contrast between you and I is also because my socialization came more so in sports. And so with that socialization, some of those motivating factors or what you look for in motivation, that kind of came with me as far as like my personal development. And so when a particular young lady would make a statement that would kind of rub me the wrong way, or she'd say something that stung, that made me competitive and say, okay, well, I'm not this now, but later on in life, I'll be what you want, what you're saying I'm not, I'll be that, and you'll probably not be here for that. Yeah. So that's probably, I look at
me now.
And it's taken maybe roughly 9 months between the time that Langston, lengthened Langston's arrival, like prepping for that, that's really made me like revisit whether that thought process is even healthy. Because I mean, yes, competitiveness is good, and I believe in that, but at the same time, you know, to hold even that still attitude. Look at me now, you know. Even like I told you on my wedding day, you know, our wedding day I should say, you know, I was listening to Drake. How about now? Because I'm up right now, and like that's not really a good approach to have, because at the end of the day, I learned something from that relationship. I benefited, I grew, and even that period of time allowed me to become who I am today. So it was one of those things where I just had to kind of, you know, let it go. But it wasn't like I wasn't as scorned or bitter like you thought I was, per se. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at it from my point of view of a female and understanding how females think. I'm looking at it the same way that a female would think. So a female, you know, if the relationship ended badly and she sees the person that hurt her, oh, you know, F you, I don't want to say hi to you, or whatever it is, it's always some type of negativity. And in my mind, it's like, no, like, it didn't work out. It is what it is. Like, and so in my mind, I'm thinking you still have feelings for her because of that bitterness, because that's how most females are.
No, I guess, again, for me, it was, I guess the thought of things would bring you, like, again, I'm very visual. I'm a visual person.
Yeah, so the thought
of things brought me
the emotion back.
The thought brought the emotion back, which brought the thought process, or that time frame, how I thought back. So it's like, I can revisit October 3rd, 2009. If that was, not to say that was a significant day, but if there was a day or something happened on that day, I can remember what those emotions or what was elicited from that conversation or something like that. And so that's why it's like certain things, it was like, I don't know. But again, I think I'll say one of the best things about the relationship I had with Leandra was that I was able to read the 5 Love Languages. And I think that was a book that really platformed me, or it gave me the idea, the concept of understanding communication, which made me then learn how to become a better communicator with other people.
Good book, by the way, guys. I read that.
With, you know, with your significant other to that capacity, because again, for me, it was everything about me was time. And you know, for her at that junction, that wasn't her. That wasn't the way that she received love. And so I think it's very important that you know
how you receive
it, and how your partner receives it, so you can be able to provide reciprocity for both in that capacity. So
relationships are definitely about
reflection of self
growth, and then when you, in my opinion, when you do find your soulmate or the person that you're supposed to be with, it doesn't stop. Like, you're continuing to grow with that person. And one of my very good friends' parents, whenever it's like something serious, I always go, it sounds really bad, but I do go to her parents, because they give really good unbiased sound advice. But you know, her father told me that you don't stop growing in a relationship, you don't stop learning yourself, and you never ever stop learning your partner. So you learn how to grow with each other, and that's where some people fail, because they forget to continue to grow and learn their partner. And her father and her mother continue to go on dates. They continue to spend the majority of their time together, and they've been married for almost over 30 years. Not saying their marriage is perfect, but you have to continue to grow.
I mean, the old adage is, and I remember, it's so interesting too, because I remember Shirley, rest in peace Shirley, one of the things I remember Shirley would say to me is, she said, you never don't fatten a frog to feed another snake. But you know, it was one of those things where, you know, I understood what she meant. But you know, I look at it like things like, you have to live in the experience of your relationship to be able to see how far you can go in your depth of love, to a degree, if that makes sense. Because,
and see, I think that was another, sorry to cut you off, but that was another I guess you can say problem that I had personally, because prior to Kayla, I was in a very long relationship, and that's what I wanted. I wanted monogamy. I wanted to be with somebody for a very long time, and I guess a part of me didn't want that relationship to end because of how long it was. I felt like, okay, well, because we've been together so long, we shouldn't break up, even though we're breaking up. But okay, since we're broken up, now I have to find that now I have to find that same type of relationship now, and I really am, now that I'm thinking about it even more, I replicated the relationship that I had prior to Kayla with Kayla, and there was no way that I would grow with that, if that makes any sense. That makes sense, you know what I'm trying to say?
And for me, I think I'm a product of my own environment, so I replicated what I saw, and so I chased everything that Theo had. So in the sense of, you know, that relationship, that was what he had, and so that was what I deemed necessary for my own. This is what I need. Growth, which is very true, but at the same time, you can't rush that when you're 19, 20, when you're 22, when you're 25, because I guess those are just.
I don't think you can rush it.
You can't rush it until you're ready. So.
Yeah, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, like every day, I guess I learn something new about you as it pertains to, you know, your keen desire to, you know, cook or like cooking, and your quirks for random things, all science. Just like, you know I have a thing for making up beds.